doing? Today is Sunday, December 15th. I am going to do the Advent. I missed it yesterday. Trust me, you did not want me touching any cards in the mood I was in yesterday. So I left it for today. I'm going to put the Advent reading for the 14th and the 15th at the end of this video. And I'll put a link or a timestamp down at the bottom. So this is going to be for the week for December 15th. I'm going to do what we usually do. Pull 3 cards here. Leave them face down. And you can pick yours. I was instructed to use my Lightkeepers deck. I was going to go with the Spirit Animal, but then I changed my mind. So, can I get 3 cards face down for Aries guidance for the week of December 15th? All right, I'll take those 2. Oh, wow, that's slanted, isn't it? I wish you could see the situation I'm in right now because I have no furniture. Like literally my mattress is on the floor. It's like, I feel like I'm in college again. One more card, please, for Aries, week of December 15th, 2019, face down. One more card, Aries, face down for the week of, all right, I'll take that one. So I had this sort of insane domino of misfortunes yesterday and had a little Aryan temper tantrum, which some of you may have seen on the community. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get the energy for the week. Oh, so actually I did want to say one thing. So while I was pre-shuffling the cards, a bunch of things fell out. First, I got the Joy card from this deck. Then I got the Wide Open deck from the Wisdom of the Oracle. From the Enchanted map. But then 3 times I get the 5 of Cups. Okay, so I know on the comments or on the community board there was a lot of talk about energy being up and down. And that's certainly represented in the cards that we saw there. You know, with a Joy, Wide Open, and a 5 of Cups is really pendulum swinging from one side to the other. So let's see what happens here if that's repeated this week. Can I get the energy? Okay. We keep getting this card, don't we? It's like the 3rd time it's come up. Quest. No, like, and it's interesting because I was saying there's like swinging energy. So there's the dark light, or there's the sort of the night and the day. And and this keeps coming up in the Advent calendar also, the idea of they're trying to reconcile these 2 things, right? And trying to make a choice and pick between 2 things. However, they are one and the same. Like, you know, there's nothing different. It's just 2 different perspectives on it. And the message of this card is that as you're trying to decide which way, left or right, actually what's not clear is that you're actually walking the path. So, you know, it's like for anyone who's kind of shoulding themselves, you know, what should I do? Which should I pick? You're kind of already walking the path that's going to take you to which one of those that you should go to. Or not should, but which one of those is your choice. Like you're already on it. You've already kind of made the choice. It's perhaps you're not conscious of it, but the path is, you're already on it. Let's get another card. Well, here, I'll show it because, yeah, this was another one that came up last week, right? About coming to the edge, taking a chance, risking. I'm going to get another card because I hadn't asked yet, but we'll take that one. Can I get a card, please, for Aries for the week of December 15th? Aries, week of December 15th. What's Aries? Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. Number 1. And this is a 9. And this is a 1. Now, in numerology, that's a completion of a full cycle, coming full all the way around, right? Starting over. And you see what's interesting is that there's the 2 hands, and out of the 2 is birthed the 1, right? So there's these 2, here you have these 2 elements and 1 path. And here you have your 2 hands and it's one creation. So there is something about the 2 and the 1 that sounds very cryptic, especially since this is a 1. But what that means is that the presence of these 2 options, right? Like, while we may be on an either or quest, it's actually that indecision over what is it, like, do I go left or right, which way? And you see her hands are wide open. Oh, interesting. And that's that wide open card also. That sort of which one of the 2 is the engine behind the path forward. So it's like the choices that are being made as a result of the deciding which way to go, or deciding if we want black or white, is actually the path that you're intended to be on, right? And it's a bringing together of those energies. And I think you sort of find that they come together to form 1, so that out of 2 is born 1. So maybe some coupling happening, if you take a chance and are willing to put your heart into it. You see how the hearts are sort of falling out of, I mean, they're petals, but they made me think of hearts. So she's kind of sewing. Oh, and that's that roses. Remember, it's in the Advent calendar also. So it's like she's sort of sewing the roses as she leaps into the unknown. So some definite newness on the table. That's pretty cool. All right, I'll take this, but I haven't asked yet. Making a choice. Oh my God. So, okay. So yeah, this is a clear theme, like in this reading, but also in the Advent calendar. There is, and look, it's like 2, 2. And see, out of every single one, the 2 become 1. Now, this one is the one path that leads you to the 2 choices, and that may be the same thing. You may have walked a path that led you to 2 choices. Or it may be that coming from the 2 choices leads you to the path forward. I think it depends on how you want to read those, and it depends on your situation. This can be a path that's leading you toward this, or it can be like having come out of these 2 experiences, having archived and they're both light and dark, and they're both the same colors. And these aren't even like the same artists here. That's pretty crazy. Because, sometimes she uses the same artist, so it's not uncommon to see similar symbols. But this is, they're not related at all. So this could be, because you see, she has them behind her, right? And this could also be that as you had that experience of the light and the dark, you experienced the situation in its positive version and in its negative version, meaning that it's given you all of the wisdom that you need to now take those 2 experiences and propel something brand new, fiery, passionate, Aries energy into the future, right? Like, this is such a great vibe, these 2, such a great vibe to walk into January with, even though we're talking December 15th. But nonetheless, since energy is fluid, some of this may happen now, it may happen in the future. I said I was going to get another one, so let's do that. Can I get a card, please, for Aries, December 15th? Aries, this week of December 15th. Now, remember, we are very close to the first eclipse. We are officially in eclipse season. So the next 6 weeks are going to be pretty rocking and rolling, I think. I know the Sagittarian energies, man. I've gotten more shit done in the last 2 weeks than I think I have all year. Of course, I'm making myself crazy, but okay. Sacred Pool, 47. That's an 11. This talks about dipping into wisdom and knowledge and divine knowledge. Actually, I want to read it, because if it came out, there may be a more pointed message that I'm not seeing. Okay, sacred pool. The world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and belief. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. When you look in the mirror, do you like what you see? The sacred pool card asks that you focus on self-love and self-esteem. We are all works in progress, so a detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for now. Reflect by the sacred pool and be at peace with yourself. Can you see how far you've come? Right, so that's what I'm saying. This is like all these things that happened in the past have now led you to this point, right? It's sort of like this diving off point into the sacred pool. Don't you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you're the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to respect yourself and act in good conscience. Then you'll reap the greatest rewards. Your unique service to the world is not only needed, but celebrated. See the love within you, like this woman seeding rose petals and love. And know that if you cast it upon the waters, it will return to you tenfold. Be at peace, for you are beautiful and loved. Act with surety and confidence, and success shall be yours, whatever your inquiry. So it's kind of saying, like, you know, for anyone who's stuck in a what should I do, the answer is kind of like just dive, right? Like a big old kind of Nike, just do it. Because there is no duality. It's all part of the same path. So there is no choice. The choice is to keep moving forward, because whatever path you are supposed to be on is the one you're on. So this concept of a choice at this point is kind of an illusion. It's about integrating the experiences, the two experiences that you had, and into one thing, into one path, into one plan, into one step, into whatever it is, you know. So it's not about which one. It's about both were needed to propel me forward on the path that I'm already on. Okay, can I get 3 cards, please, for Aries, week of December 15th? 3 cards, Aries, week of December 15th, 2019. Oh, and that's so interesting. You know, it just kind of came to me, 9 of Cups. Now, some of you know how I feel about this guy, but we'll talk about that in a second. We'll see how it plays out. But there's the 9 and the 9. It's so interesting because the cards that fell out before, remember I said there was a joy card, there was the 5 of Cups, that it's not about either or of those experiences. You know, we are condemned to live equal parts light and equal parts dark. You don't come into a lifeline and get 100% roses and champagne, and you also don't get 100% shit. It's a balance of things, and the balance is part of, that's too many, I don't want to take those. Oh no, I guess there's 4, so I'll take it. Ooh, I'm so glad I did, because these are awesome cards. Okay, ready? So 9 of Cups, 6 of Wands, Lovers, also a 6, Ace of Swords. Now the Ace of Swords is all 1. Ace of Swords is also in the Advent calendar. So this is, you know, we're talking about a path, and talking about the 2 and the 1, you know, that it's, these 2 are joined angelically at a different level. So there is separation, but it's not, you know, part of the same thing. Now this 9 card here kind of sticks out a little, kind of like this other 9 card. Perhaps if nothing else, to just, I think that's what it is. Like, since this is the, at the 9, moving forward high major arcana of this card. So it's not just moving forward, like, because these are like the mundane guys, right? Like the day to day. These are sort of like the divine movements. So it's like not only moving forward victoriously here, also, this card is about choices. And it's about consequences, but it's also, Adam and Eve cast out of the Garden of Eden, but that's also where humanity began, in theory. So this moment is still the start of something, even though it's considered the fall of man, whatevs. It's still the beginning of this tale, of where perhaps we stopped being divine, perfect beings and started becoming human beings. But it is still a beginning and a moving forward, right? And it's about a choice. And being aware of the consequences of the things that you choose. So this is, it says to definitely, this is where that card comes in. It's like, we can't just move forward, kind of like, I don't like this guy. I know everybody else says it's like wish fulfillment and stuff like that. And he's, he's got his cups and he's happy and he's doing well, and that's all well and good. I still think that he could be a little bit more humble about it. Although I'll be honest, there's not a lot of humility in these cards. Regardless, what it does tell a story of is there's a new beginning, right? And it may actually also be the end of sort of this state of hubris and more into sort of like the stripping away, understanding that there were consequences to choices and being given a chance to sort of start over with something new, but with that as crowned, right? The crown here is a laurel wreath. The crown here is an actual physical divine object or divinely blessed, right? When you wear the crown like that, it's the I forget what they call when it's not gonna come to me now. I'm not even gonna push it. When the royalty is, by, it's not divine intervention, but that they are blessed by the hand of the divine. And that's where the crowns come from, as a symbol of sort of divinity on earth. So there's a learning from lessons, right? Having had to have gone through these two experiences in order to get to this new beginning where you are. There's some reflection that's required in order to understand the consequences of what you're doing, right? That also that, it wasn't about either or, it was about and learning how to take these experiences, integrate them into something new and start over. I mean, 2 1s in the same reading is pretty cool. And 2 9s. So there's definite movement forward. Looks like we may be getting some clarity on how this progression is gonna unfold, right? Like I said, there's these 2 6s here. So there's 2 sort of communications at the same time. There's one that's like earthly and one that's divine. What's been coming up a lot in the readings and in the Advent calendar, and this is it, is that there's a question of listening, that the divine is trying to get in touch with us. There's all these sort of winged creatures in the Advent calendar reading that are trying to bring us messages. And this is always considered sort of the Gemini card because of the 2. So this may be like something that happened at that Gemini full moon that caused this sort of victorious move forward, right? That somehow within the 2, that duality of that moon, one choice was made, Or of the two, one was left standing, right? So perhaps something may have, if there were two, maybe one was eliminated and it became clear the path to take, that perhaps through some reflection and understanding of, this guy's sitting and this guy's moving. It made me look like that, actually. This is a stationary energy and this is a moving forward. So understanding what it takes to move forward, integrating that information of that Gemini moon, the two sides, getting both sides of the story in order to carry forward, understanding what the two choices are and then making one, which ultimately leads to a brand new beginning. You have two paths here, three paths, two ones, two new beginnings, two endings, and a sort of reflection situation on not necessarily anymore what do I want to do, but what of my learnings. This guy returns victorious from battle, right? But he's also learned something. He learned what worked and he learned what didn't, because he comes out victorious, right? He's not dead. It's not the Five of Cups. Hasn't lost anything. He's got his little laurel wreath there. Happy guy. So there, in the victory, there is also knowledge, right? Of having made the right choice. So I've been throwing out a lot of different options here. I am going to use the Spirit Animal deck, sorry, because I want to get one card for everyone to see if I can't tie this up a little bit more. But here's what I see. I see that where you were potentially hung up on the two, either one of the options went away or whatever the choice was became clear, or you made a choice and there were consequences, but that's cool because it's still a new path and it's movement forward. Movement forward is better than being stuck. So even if the decision sets into motion a series of consequences that you didn't expect, like dominoes, it doesn't mean it doesn't work out. It just means that it maybe didn't work out how you planned. Okay, so coming out of sort of a stagnancy, finding the courage to take a leap and to move forward, to understand that the lessons in the duality and to find into one new beginning, one new path, making a choice. So you're either going to be making a choice or something's going to happen where the choice is made for you. Looks to me like you make the choice. And the choice is made after, hold on, although I'll keep it just in case. The choice is made after reflection. But whatever it is, it's going to help you move forward victoriously, not move forward because you have to, right? It's not the Six of Swords, this one. This isn't like, God, I would stay if I could. This is like, winner, coming back victorious. And this is what you get, this golden divine sword of clarity, of understanding why the two had to exist in order to get you onto the one path. Perhaps you're having some sort of like soulmate realization where you're understanding that that person was not for you, but that something about that experience brought you to where you are now. And now you can start over more powerful than before, because now you're just supercharged with double fire. You've lived the light and the dark, and now you are armed, quite literally, wide open with all that knowledge behind you and all that experience. and to reflect on how far you've come. That's what this said, right? Reflect on how far you've come. And that's what it is. So, you know, it's like, even if the path didn't turn out the way you wanted to, didn't get the soulmate, most of the time that's not what they're there for. It's not about the relationship. They are literally about forcing you onto a path. And usually the soulmate is this, right? I'm not budging. And the fact that they don't budge is what causes you to go looking for answers and go looking for something else, and try and find, like, what is this all about? And you learn, most people on soulmate experiences discover, that's when they discover tarot, they discover astrology, they discover their own healing abilities. So some of you may be waking up also to your gifts, to your divine and psychic gifts in this moment. Like I said, I think when, I'm going to take that and then we'll be done. When Mercury crosses the galactic center, I think it's going to be like, okay, so what do we have here? Nice. The bee spirit, sweet results await. And this is crow spirit, co-creating with spirit. I don't want to read the whole thing because otherwise this will start to get really long. But let me read it a little bit, because then we still have to do those other ones. Okay. So, bee spirit's message is that sweet results, sweet rewards are on their way. If you're willing to get your ego out of the way and immerse yourself in the connected energy of all things, right? And that's it. That's that. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being a separate self get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey. Miracles and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. Bee spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity. Your body, heart, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and a true integration when you self-forgot. When you remember that you are part of a greater unified consciousness. Moving from separation into connection, from self-centered limitation to spirit-centered infinite possibility, wide open, right? Accepting the duality and integrating that duality into one. That it is all connected. They are not separate. It's an illusion. It's just a matter of perception. Anyway, magical results are taking form and will be sweeter than you expect. Nice. Bee spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership with the conscious universe is being rewarded even if you can't see it yet. And ask that you share your good fortune, as there's plenty of honey for all. Now, let's see what else we have here. The crow spirit, 17. And then I'll read your other cards. Okay, as you look around you, can you sense the magic that pulses through your world? These are pretty cool cards, you know. Have you witnessed how every thought can become a thing? How every intention can call the universe into action as the sacred laws shape what you experience? The universe works in perfect order. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and belief with spirit, you will want to crow with delight. And this is very similar to that parakeet card in the Advent calendar. Feeling the excitement and wonder of being in harmony with something much larger than yourself. Because this is all kind of about interconnectedness and you know, integrating the two into one. The laws of abundance, compensation, frequency, and praise are operating in your favor now. Nice. Remember to be grateful and praise what is yours, even if it is still coalescing in form. Okay? Still residing in the invisible realms of co-creation. No matter what areas of your life you're concerned with now, what you hope for is on its way. Okay? So that is, that's kind of like this, right? You know, I'm worried about two things that you can't see, but you're actually already on the path. So you might get clarity of that movement forward this week, or you may just find peace, knowing that it's coming to you. Anyway, I've been talking enough. Let's go. Let's do these cards. I will start with this one. Okay, here we go. Saint-Germain. Karma releasing. Move beyond drama. Create your own path. Make room for good energy. Let me read that to you. Saint-Germain. My favorite place to stay in Paris. Okay. Saint-Germain was born in France in the 18th century and is said to have been given a new identity because he was the love child of two very powerful people. Whoop, like that, right? He was well educated and able to rub shoulders with royalty. He was also deeply interested in magic. Now, that's the third time the word magic has come up, right? So there's some kind of special magician energy going on right now. Interested in magic, alchemy, and the cosmos, and able to perform real-life miracles and turn lead into gold. Now he helps us move beyond social limitations to connect again with the right people for the highest good. He's still a master alchemist and able to help us turn whatever is leaden into our life into something that is golden. His twin flame, there again, is Lady Portia, and he is the keeper of the violet flame, the powerful etheric retreat where we can release karma. Okay, so that's interesting. Sounds like some of you in this full circle thing, 9th coming to the edge, yang energy, 9 to the 1, are releasing, getting some karmic release from sort of past things. So some of the things that may be happening right now, I actually made a joke about this on the community. You may be paying some old karmic debts right now. That may be part of the like unpleasant energy that's going on, but that frees you, that's freeing up. You're bringing these two things into balance as part of your path. Let's read this one. Gaia, Earth connection. Be mindful of this planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. Probably for me, that one. Let's see. Gaia is Mother Earth. She's the keeper of the light who holds the planet in her hands and heart. Much like this is like the female version of this, right? Her kiss is on every animal's forehead. She is the life that moved through the plants, the sweetness within the honey, again, and the force that encourages the bees to fly. How funny. She loves, protects, and guides all beings. She asks us to love them too. How can we help them? How can we help the planet? I'm going to read a little bit more because that one was kind of... So you're blessed to receive this Great Mother card today because it shows that the earth itself, through the image of Gaia, is protecting your path. Amazing. Like all of these. You are a strong, focused, and loving individual. Stay grounded and don't allow your imagination, ego, or fears to run away with you. Ensure your choices are for the highest good. Gaia is also bringing her motherly love to you and encircling you with a cocoon of peace. If you have had troubles with a mother in your life or are feeling disconnected from or grieving your own mother, Gaia helps revitalize that connection and will bring healing where it is possible. If you are a mother and are worrying about these duties, know that Gaia is thanking you for your hard work and commitment. The earth is blessed to have you. Oh, how nice. A little shout out to the moms there. And finally, Lord Ganesh, infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. So let me read that one to you. Here we go. Ganesh is the Hindu elephant-headed god, the son of Lord Shiva and the goddess Parvati. Legend says he received his elephant head as a replacement after his father sliced his human one off when he mistook him for an intruder. Tough family. Ganesh is acknowledged as the Lord who removes obstacles and is much loved by taxi drivers in India because they believe he helps them weave in and out of the crazy traffic. Ganesh is a sweet-toothed, life-loving, joyful, dancing, and very approachable God. He will use his light to weave a perfect path for you. It's important at this time to move beyond the limitations of it's not meant to be. This is what I was talking, so this is for you soulmates out there. And focus on, if this is for my highest good, then the universe will take me there safely. Ganesh is not only bringing a clear light to your external situation, but also helping you clear up any internal conflicts. When obstacles arise, know that they are just reminders that you care about your path and that you have the ability to change your current situation. Ganesh is here to help you. Thank him for clearing the way. Okay, cool. Well, it looks really exciting. No, there's like buzz. I think I'm even a little bit more amped up than I usually am. But yeah, you can kind of feel the fire this week. So if it gets too much, take a pop into the sacred pool of reflection to sort of calm down. But it is, so themes that came up, connections, new connections bringing something new, moving forward, getting out of one's own ego, understanding the interconnectedness of everything, obstacles being removed so new beginnings can happen. And that was one other thing I said, right? That something in the two, like one of the three here drops out, or out of the two, it becomes clear which is the one way to go. And if it doesn't become clear, if there's not something that happens where that one path is like very obvious, then the whole point is really just to keep going forward, because you're already on the path you're supposed to be. And even though we can't see it yet, it's there, right? And that was the message of these two. The birds keep coming up, and the winged creatures. Oh, that's right. I said they're all winged creatures, right? So all the winged creatures will be getting communicate. They're working for us to generate this energy and this magic that's propelling the air, that's sort of the wind in our sails to help us move forward, even though that's not a sailboat. The wind is, there's an Irish saying, may you always have the wind at your back. All right, awesome. So stay tuned. I'll do the advent calendar afterwards. I have like a mental block around that word. It keeps coming to me in Italian. Sorry. And I hope you have a very lovely week. See you again, hopefully in the middle of the week. Ciao. Hello, advent calendar time. So since we're not doing it live, I switched things around. Now, in the interest of time, since the 14th card is my Dutch deck, I did look at it already, but I'm going to turn it over for you. And since this is coming after the reading today, this is a number 2 card. Now remember, this number 2 keeps coming up. It's where we started the reading, and then there's all sorts of aspects of balance and stuff that are coming in. Now what the message is, I've done the translate here. It says, recognizing the codes. So where others see nothing, you see the deeper meaning or message that lies behind the outer appearance. Your guides are busy communicating with you while your intuition and inner knowing becomes stronger. Remember, and that was like, we've been talking about this, the whispering, the thought and the memory whispering in the ear, the being still so that you can hear things as they come into you, the taking a step back to look at things from a different perspective, to spend time actively listening to the messages that are coming into you. Channeling those messages from the universe. And then, of course, the swords that keep coming up. This is the sword that came up in today's reading again, which is able to, as I said in my last reading on the Advent calendar, that the sword divides into 2 and makes the 2 clear so that you can see like where they were one and how they are separate, but how they are also one. Now, going back. So pay attention to everything that you are currently experiencing. Become aware of messengers from the animal kingdom. Oh my God, that is so funny, because we talked about how all of these have some sort of form of winged messenger. So pay attention to the winged messengers. The birds, I guess, are like where it's at right now. Cloud formations, colors, conversations from others, and everything else that you notice. You are taking the next step in awareness and in connection with the unseen world. Now, one of the things I mentioned also in the in the reading is that some of you may be, as a result of perhaps some sort of soul connection or twin flame episode, maybe waking up to your own psychic abilities, to maybe starting to realize that actually all you are one with the universe, and that you can read the symbols of the universe. Now let's see what is the 15th. Here we go. 15th has a little Christmas tree on it. Oh, nice. Courage. Major Arcana. Flowers. Again with the flowers. Again with the daisies blooming in impossible situations. Let's see what the courage message has for us. And that's very much, you know, if we think about that card in the normal tarot or the standard tarot, it's about, in the standard tarot, it's really more about head over heart, right? Or being able to sort of it's about being able to dominate your emotional body. Whereas this one is that despite difficult terrain, actually you are able to grow. So it's kind of similar story. It's like being able to dominate your surroundings, or being able to have the best of your surroundings, or being able to blossom even regardless of your surroundings, or perhaps even because of your surroundings. This card shows a small wildflower that has met the challenge of the rocks and stones in its path to emerge into the light of day. Surrounded by an aura of brilliant gold light, it exposes the majesty of its tiny self. Unashamed, it is equal to the brightest sun. When we are faced with a very difficult situation, we have a choice. We can either be resentful, trying to find somebody or something to blame for the hardships, or we can face the challenge and grow. The flower shows us the way, as its passion for life leads it out of the darkness and into the light. And that's interesting, even considering today's reading. Yes, as the Six of Wands moves forward, there is no point fighting against the challenges of life or trying to avoid or deny them. They are there, and if the seed is to become the flower, we must go through them. Be courageous enough to grow into the flower you are meant to be. So that was kind of the thing that, you know, also came up in the reading, is that it's not about having a happy life or having a crappy life. It's that both of those elements are there to sort of push and pull, like kneading dough. You know, they push and they pull and they shape and they form. But it's through those experiences, through the living of the rose and the living of the daisies, that one becomes clear on, you know, which path is better for it, or which path is better for that person. Anyway, definitely I'm curious to see how the rest of this month plays out. But yeah, definitely pay attention to the birds. It sounds like they're supercharged this period. Or, you know, like song albums or musician, you know, any kind of like communication that comes through some sort of winged being seems rather divinely charged at this moment. Anyway, on the calendar, we will see you tomorrow. Take care.